Okay, so welcome to the last session of the day. I'm glad you're still here. I hope you're not feeling overwhelmed. There's been a lot of information to learn and equally to share. This final session basically is on measurements, and I'm going to be moderating the session. So I'd like to start off by saying that before we go into the session, we have just one thing to say. We have a survey form, or rather a feedback form, which we've posted on the AFPIF website. So if you can all go to the AFPIF website, that is internetsociety.org/AFPIF-2013, and I think that will be coming up later. You'll see at the main page there's a link to a survey form. Click on it, fill in the survey. It's in both English and French. Let us have your feedback. We'd like to collect that so that we can know how best to improve, where we've done well and where we've not done so well, so that we can improve on that. So we'll remind you again as we go, but hopefully you'll be done by the time we close today. So with that, I'd like to go into the session. So the session is on internet measurements. And I have a passion for this particular topic. That's why I selfishly selected it to be me doing the moderation. And I have a history with this which goes back to way back in 2004, 2005, when I was our exchange point in Kenya, where I serve as the CTO by night. Basically, one thing we noted was that with the measurements we were taking, we really didn't have a clue of what was going on. Can you hear me? It's a hum that just popped somewhere. So with the measurements that we were taking, we never really used to pay a lot of attention until a few things happened. One day there was this innovative content provider who came online and was giving free SMSs. And there was a solution they provided where you just enter a number and you send an SMS, and it will deliver SMS locally to the number that you've given. At that time, SMSs were quite expensive, almost 5 to 7 US cents per SMS, which was quite expensive. Now, free SMS was unheard of in my country, and the servers were locally based in Kenya. I still don't know up to today how he had managed to provide that service. It didn't last long, but it died. Oh, thank you, Howie. So the link to where the survey form is up there. So one of the things that happened is that on Valentine's Day, I think of 2004, it's almost like the entire city of Nairobi went to this particular website, and just to send SMSs. Well, you all know February 14th is Valentine's Day, so either people are looking for dates or trying, I don't know. But your guess is as good as mine. But we actually hit 6 megabits per second to one particular server through the exchange point. And I was actually curious to know, A, where was the traffic coming from? Because at the exchange point, you only see traffic coming in and one particular network receiving a lot of it. But being 6 megabits, it's really not easy to drill into the details of which networks, is it the mobile networks and so on. Then not too long after that, we had the online, the National Examination Council released their annual, we have national exams that are done at the end of the year. And these exams basically determine whether you go to the next grade. That means we have primary school, which ends at class 8, to go to high school. Then high school is 4 years. There is another national exam which determines whether you go to campus or college. And so these two national exams are really taken seriously. And every time students go a long way to study and sit the exams, and then they are published. It's a big thing. And the announcement was such that you could actually access the results online. And again, that was huge because the servers for the National Examination Council failed within the first hour. They also didn't expect that kind of traffic. And so we've had, after that, many other big events. Safaricom, which is very well known for M-Pesa, right? They did a public initial offering to list on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and or they decided that for you to put in a bid for the number of stock shares you want to buy, you actually had to go to this website and apply. And it involved even the exchange point operator to actually help them design redundancy towards the network that was hosting the servers. And we were involved in that. And when we did the measurements, we noticed how much traffic went specifically to that network during the period of the IPO. But one of the things is that other than the MRTG graphs we had at the exchange point, we really didn't have any other source of information to actually tell, or tools to actually tell what else is going on. So I've always been curious to know what can we do to actually measure more of what's happening at our exchange point. How useful can this data be to other people, not just the exchange point operator, but everybody else? And so as a result, I've been able to conclude that data is valuable in 4 ways. First, it's invaluable to policymakers. Policymakers, business people who need to make business decisions, to technical people for traffic engineering, and finally to researchers. So those are the 4 groups of people that I think data is valuable to. But what kind of data are we collecting? How is this data useful? And how does it impact these 4 people? Is a question which I, as an exchange point operator, have not been able to come up with a substantive way of providing data in a format that is useful to these 4 groups of people. To the technical people, that's easy. They are geeky, they will figure it out. But the other 3 groups of people, it needs some little bit more of engagement with that group. Now, to help us understand these challenges and the opportunities that we can address, or rather help us collect data, analyze it, and present it in a way that is meaningful to these groups of people, I have a panel with me.